You know, Winston Churchill is one of my favorite men of all time, and I love his quotes. And he had to give a speech at Oxford, commencement address. And he gets up there and he says, "Never give up."
A year ago, I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, and which is cancer of the blood. And we spent 11 months on chemo trying to battle it. And we have, for the last 2 months, I've been in remission now, and we hope to stay there for a while. It's a cancer that you don't cure, it's a cancer you treat, and the drugs keep you alive, and I'm doing quite well on it. When I swam as a kid, my first swim meet was at 7 years of age, and then I swam all the way through college. Having gone to the Air Force Academy and surviving that, nothing was going to be difficult after that. That was the most difficult thing I think I've ever done.
You know, I've come to realize that swimming is much more, for Richard, it's much more than just a physical activity. No matter how bad he feels, he goes for a swim, he comes back, he's rejuvenated, and he just feels great.
No one I would rather have in that role. You know, if I had to trust my life to somebody, it would be Richie in his custom-made wetsuit.
The experience of a chronic illness, such as myeloma, is informed by how a person incorporates the necessary activities of dealing with the disease into their daily life. I encourage my patients who are well enough to work, they should work. If they have activities that they love, that they can do safely, such as endurance swimming, I encourage them to do it, because I feel it's important that you acknowledge and address the necessary demands of a chronic illness, but it doesn't necessarily have to define you or dictate how you live your life.
We all met together, and we started swimming together, and we sat around and said, we need a goal.
I met Richie at the pool because he was part of this group. It really was the beginning of the New York Matadors. It was the first time we sort of did something as a group and as a team and all that stuff. So we got into it.
You know, I think that when they come together as a group to swim, maybe the passion and the drive that they have for their swimming is maybe the same passion that's got them to where they are and the success in their lives, you know. It's a great stress relief for these type A personalities also, you know. I think that it's great. So he's found his passion in swimming, and I think it's really been as good a medication for him as his actual medication.
It was about a year ago, and he had not been feeling well. He was run down and lack of energy and so on and so forth. And they discovered that he had multiple myeloma.
The disease commonly presents with 3 scenarios. The first is that a patient develops anemia or low red blood cell counts. The second is the disease can involve bones and induce fractures. And then the third is kidney failure. So patients who develop renal failure for no other apparent reason. It's actually the second most common blood cancer. So even though it's rare compared to a lot of the solid tumors, among the blood disorders, it's actually a fairly common diagnosis. And as such, there's about 20 to 22,000 new cases a year. It's a significant public health issue.
There are some side effects that occur, and unfortunately, in my case, it blew out my kidneys, and so my kidneys are not well, and I'm on dialysis 3 days a week. But fortunately, I'm in remission on the cancer, so as long as we can keep it away, that's more important.
You know, it's serious stuff that we're behind him, and we want to help him both mentally and spiritually through this.
You know, it's like one of your close relatives, you know. You know, we all like to think that we're, you know, immortal, especially guys who are bonded by athletics, you know. And I think all of us who care a lot about them. You know, in many ways, the way Richie has dealt with the situation is sort of inspirational.
Once he found out that he had it, I've never seen anybody more positive, more can-do, gonna beat this thing, and you know, you would not know that this man is sick.
The stakes got changed a lot this year when we all learned that Rich was ill. And we all sort of focused on his, his treatment, and everybody asks when he's coming back in the water to swim with us, and the fact that he can be part of this relay is a milestone.
I'm swimming about 4 days a week because I'm taking treatments in the other days, so it's a little hard to do both the same day. But I'm swimming 4 days a week, and I'm up to about a mile now in swimming, so I'm not back to where I was. I think for the race, it'll be less important for the speed. It's more important that I have the endurance to do part of the race.
He's so excited. He's been telling everybody and planning this, and he's really up. So I think he's going to do what he can do. If he feels he can't do it, he'll get out. But I think he's so pumped and ready and excited that,
I think he can do it. Yeah.
A year ago this time, I couldn't walk from here to that chair over there. And now I can walk further, but I can actually swim.
First one, yeah, right. Woo! You ready? All right, Steve. Go! Yes! Here we go. Woo!
You ready, Rich? Yeah. This is going to be great. You can come in first if you want, Richard. Yeah. The best way for you to do this is the old diver jump. That's right. One big step off and you're good to go. Ready? Go! Get the other swimmer out of there.
Richie was a great swimmer. Richie's actually faster swimmer than I am. It's like, whoa, he's got a motor. Where did he come from, right? I mean, so that's the other thing that's just so wonderful and lovable about him. I mean, he's got this great swimming ability, and you look at him and you wouldn't think that the guy is like, a major swimmer.
Oh, I didn't know it was like the tag.
That was Heather's call right there.
That was great. Beautiful. All right, Richie. Hey, we got the three on board.
I had said to him that I know he wanted to participate in this swim. So I said, if you only swim 10 minutes, you're still participating. You should do what you feel you can do. So he got into the water, and sure enough, he didn't want to stop. So there he is. He's in his element in the water where he's comfortable. So we're very proud of him.
All right. All right, Richie.
It's much relieving for me to be in the water, much more than in land. I'll do another one later, I hope, with a lot of rest. I can't walk, but I can swim. It's pretty amazing.
All right, Dan, you want to pull in?
All right.
Hands off.
Great swim for a great cause.
Step off and you're good to go. Ready? Go!
And I think that with our children, our friends, and these swimmers, the swimming group has just been his life, because of the support and the love that he's getting, I really think that that helps a person through any difficult time.
We don't have a broadly applicable cure for multiple myeloma yet, so any advance is going to be important and critical. The strategy that we're choosing to pursue is vaccines. Developing a vaccine that's successful in myeloma is not only going to help myeloma patients. So if we have strategies that work against myeloma, they could potentially be applicable in other diseases as well.
Medicine is moving at a very rapid rate in terms of understanding the human genome and what we can do to solve diseases. One of the things that happens with research is a lot of money is funded by the federal government, but while you're waiting to get a federal grant, you have to fund your own research and then submit it to the government and hopefully get a grant. So there's a long process of helping to support research in that gap period before they receive federal money. And that's what we're here to do. I think it's just having friendship and a bond with people that gives you strength that you don't even know you have. And so I had my dialysis yesterday, and somehow it came together today.
If the doctors and the nurses at the dialysis center and at Mount Sinai saw Richard today, they would not believe it. They would not believe that yesterday he was in dialysis and today swam 3 rotations around Manhattan, and he astounded everybody, and very proud of him. He was terrific.
It's a community effort, and we did it, and so we're very, very proud.